have to remember these days. We have to remember these days. There's no guarantee that they will last forever. Enjoy them as long as they last.
Speaking of records in F1, there are loads of records from Sebastian Vettel. And by saying this, I won't be talking about his 4 World Championship, although this record of Seb Vettel is here to stay for long time. But rather, there is one unique yet quite dominating record of Seb Vettel that is bound to stay for long time. Well, here it is. Remember 2013, where Seb Vettel crushed the whole of F1 paddock with 9 wins in a row. That was the time when man and machine worked in perfect harmony. Yes, this is the record I think will stay in F1 for long time. And coincidentally, that came right after summer break, which F1 is enjoying right now. So, let's relive those dominating time of Seb Vettel. It all began in Belgium Grand Prix. Wet qualifying and wet Master Hamilton took pole. But on race day, slower yet less draggy Red Bull passed Mercedes in Kemmel straight, and then Vettel never looked back. Eventually he won the race by 16.8 seconds to Fernando Alonso. Then came the turn of Monza. Red Bull was dominating in every session, and with no surprise, Vettel took pole. On race day, it was a bit tricky for him. In order to defend, he locked up in turn 1 and rain looming throughout race. Made tricky, but Seb Vettel hung on to win by 5.4 seconds to Fernando Alonso. And as expected, boos and dislikes thrown at Seb since he was not wearing red. Then came Singapore GP. This is where this tag, boring season came along in 2013. This was one of the dominating wins of Seb Vettel, and no wonder he is the king of Marina Bay Street. He just needed 1 lap for pole, led the race from start to finish, and won by mammoth 32.6 seconds. This was one of 4 Grand Slam of Seb Vettel, just pure masterclass of Seb. Then came another Grand Slam of Seb Vettel, 2013 Korean GP. Although the race margin is bit less, but Seb Vettel controlled all the way through the race and registered 4 wins in a row. By that time, championship lead peaked to 77 points with just 5 rounds remaining. The favorite circuit of Seb Vettel, of course, cannot betray him. This was a bit tricky for him. He was beaten to pole by Webber, although the strategy from Red Bull allowed him to pass both Grosjean and Webber to register 5 wins in a row. The championship lead was 90 points, with Vettel just whisker away from championship. The historical day for Seb Vettel as the final Indian Grand Prix gave him all he wanted. Pole position with single quali lap, winning the race by 30 seconds, and of course, the lucrative 4th back-to-back World Championship. And, as Christian Horner quoted, Vettel certainly joined the greats, and the rest, as they say, is history. After clinching his championship, we all thought Seb Vettel will cherish the moment of glory and slightly back off. And guess what? He even got stronger. Although was again beaten to pole by Webber, Vettel took the lead at turn 1 and decimated the field by winning the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix by 30 seconds. By then, he equaled Schumacher for most consecutive wins in F1. Yes, 7 in a row, certainly the drive of world champion. We have to remember these days. Was Seb Vettel's post-race comments in 2013 United States GP. How would a guy chasing everything would stop out of nowhere? And hence, Seb Vettel and Red Bull made history by winning 8 races in a row. Pole position, fastest lap and race win. Well, I am out of words to describe this, to be honest. And came the finale of 2013. Brazilian Grand Prix. Mark Webber's final race, but Seb Vettel took the headline by winning 9 races in a row, and 13th of the season. Took pole in wet and once again dominated the race to win by 10 seconds. In the end, he was gazillion 155 points ahead of second-place driver. We have to remember these days, there's no guarantee that they will last forever. This was Seb Vettel's post-race thought, and guess what? This record is definitely here to stay. It has already lasted a decade, and there's no sign of this being overhauled. Even the dominant Hamilton-Mercedes partnership couldn't break this. This is how strong this record is. I think we still have long time before anyone even come closer to this record. So yeah, that's it for this video. What do you guys think of this record of Seb Vettel? Will this ever be broken, or will this stay forever? Please have your say in comment section, and at last, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.